Hello everybody, welcome to the final episode of our Wraith one-shot game. At this point in time, they've managed to defeat, I guess, the beast or dog that was after them. And we had one character, Owen, walk outside and kind of get the realization that he's dead. They're not in some house trapped in the real world, well, not in the living world, he's dead. That hasn't kind of swept through the rest of the group yet. He's the only one who actually knows, but there are some who are suspecting, and of course the entire time we've got Helen joking that they're dead, and everybody's like, no, we don't believe you. Well, now it's starting to sink in, and now they're starting to get it. Slowly they start to realize one by one that they're gone. They're dead. And they're trying to figure out what happened. So we'll see how this episode goes. Now we get to Bobby.
Yes.
You know, she has said, this seems like a failure to me, don't you think? On the last turn.
Well, it depends on what you mean by failure. I don't even know what we're doing here.
What
do you consider a failure?
We can't feed from you. We might as well just kill you then.
Feed from us. What do you...
Ink. We go to Chris and Dr. McNally. You are most certainly, in this point, as you're thinking about spiritual planes and things like that, it would make sense that you're in some sort of spiritual disconnect here because the people outside couldn't hear you at all, but they're reacting to changes in the house that you clearly have made, like the door. People are looking at the door, taking pictures of the door. You may be on the other side of some sort of spiritual divide.
I'm going to walk out.
You'll walk out.
Well, do I know of any rituals about crossing the spiritual threshold?
Usually a lot of that involved going into caves and descending to go into the underworld.
Right.
You're not in a cave. There's really no practical application for this.
But there are stairs that go up.
Yeah, inside the house.
I'm going to start heading to the stairs.
Okay.
Because you're right, going up will lead me back out of the underworld.
So you head into the den and start passing through the kitchen, and you see Dr. Parrish is sitting down with that woman. They're just talking. He seems confused, like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she just seems pleasant. Which brings us to Nate.
Yeah, I'm not letting anybody leave the garage. Everybody's getting out that hole. So anybody that's still in the garage, my goal as the police officer and the only authority in this room is to grab people and push them out that fucking hole.
So this is still technically a combat round. I completely forgot. So that's Thomas's goal is to leave the garage, and technically Officer Faison acts before him. So you'll see him walking by, or like he's heading towards the door to the den. So you get to go.
I will attempt to put him in a hold, wherein I grab his arm, put it behind his back, and thrust him through a hole, like a do-si-do.
Okay. Chris,
that's my goal.
Would you like to attempt to blow
That
power?
shit ain't fucking happening.
All right. So willpower, and it's going to be a contested brawl.
Dex Athletics?
Dex Athletics or Dex Brawl. You guys both have a dice you can fight over, if you would like to.
No, I'll let it happen. If he wants to use it, he can use it. I'm trying to save him. These people are clearly crazy.
Right, and I absolutely have to get up out of the underworld. I've got somewhere to be.
I drink gasoline.
I have someone depending on me. I gotta go.
So 2 on the officer's side for successes. What we got for Dr. McNally? I see up there 3. So the doctor manages to, as his arm gets grabbed, and Officer Faison tries to pull behind his back to get into a normal restraint hold, the doctor twists his body around and just jerks back. He's desperate. You can see there's some desperation in his eyes and in his features as he tries to pull away from you. And actually,
No. We got to go up. We got to go up and get out. We descended somewhere. We need to get up to go out.
And that's when he steps backwards through the den doorway and starts making his way through the kitchen.
And I'm going to shut the door and lock it.
You're going to shut this door and lock it?
He's not going to fucking stop me.
Okay. So instead of going, you're like, click, click, click. Okay. Wow, that wasn't expected. So,
Well, it's not like the dog's going to do anything. He killed it.
At this point, combat's over unless Bobby starts some shit with his talk guest. No?
I have no plan on starting some shit other than trying to converse.
So, Jeff, you're outside. and you can hear this howling wind begin in the distance, almost getting to the point of like a freight train, that rumbling, that deep, like howling, whistling, and just grunting of a funnel cloud, perhaps. Just over the horizon, you hear it coming, and the sky is starting to darken a little bit. You can see them all inside. You can barely see through the hole in the garage, like I said. So you saw some sort of scuffle go on, but you see that Dr. Parrish is still talking with that woman at the dinner table.
And you said there's basically just decayed houses. The trees are all decayed. Everything's got a very dreary brown.
Yep. Almost dirt colored, almost like sepia.
The wind is picking up like a tornado is starting.
Yes.
I'd rather be in the house than out in the open during a tornado.
Okay.
So I'm going to go back in so I can let people know that it's going to get dangerous outside.
Which way are you going back into the house? There's the front door.
To the garage.
Okay. You're like,
Oh, wait. I'll go try and open the front door.
So the front door has like a screen on it, like a metal screen door. You just pull it open. You hear it creak open, and the door is there. You go to grab the doorknob and push it open. At that point in time, who's in the garage?
I'm still here because I haven't gotten my turn this round.
Right, well, yeah, because combat ended. So the car vanishes. The bicycles on the rack vanish. The inside of the garage looks decayed. Like the wallpaper is peeling and stained. There's mold somewhere. You can just smell it. That horrible putrescent smell of the grave is gone because the car is gone. Inside the kitchen and inside the den where Dr. McNally's at, everything changes. You can see out through the sliding glass doors now, and you see this burnt and just crumbling landscape out beyond it. The TV and the fireplace are there, but they're in complete disrepair. Like the TV is cracked in half almost. The fireplace is like anybody's used it in years.
Very stressed and desperate to go.
The recliner turns into a rotted like idea of what a recliner once was, but you can't really say that it's a recliner anymore. The love seat completely vanishes. The table that Dr. Parrish is sitting at with his woman stays there, but gets suddenly tarnished with like age and disuse and neglect. And she just kind of looks at it, looks around, and just kind of shakes her head and does a tisk-tisk sound. Everything in here just seems to age like by 30, 40 years in one instant. As Owen steps in, he breaks the phantasm. Inside the garage with Helen, what do you do?
I'm gonna go grab the doctors because we have a way out now, and then everything changed, and it's
The door in front of you is closed, but you can see like it's almost like been shining where part of the paneling is gone. You can see into the den. So you can easily reach in and unlock it and open that door.
yeah. I'm gonna do exactly that.
So you unlock it. Officer Faison's there as well. What do you do with all this new information here?
I don't know what the fuck is going on, and quite frankly, it's likely I've either been drugged, I attacked some bony dog from hell that disappeared. From what I can see, there was a hole in this garage door, and I know my goal is to get the hell out of this place, so I'm going to do that. If I get out of here, at least I can get some bearing, and if there's something terrible in here, it won't be after me anymore.
Okay.
So I'm crawling out that damn hole.
So you're going through the okay. So as Helen unlocks the door, you see the officer turning. He goes through the door. As Faison crosses that threshold, the last of the phantasm dissipates, and you can see that burned and blasted landscape outside. As you step outside, there's no sudden change in things, no sudden buffeting. It's literally, you can feel it as you step through, that wind that's hitting you, that like warm, like burned, scorched air just kind of push across your body. And you see Finn's going through the front door. Like he goes back into the house. And as you look around you, this neighborhood's dead. The entire landscape is dead. This is the only house in this block that has some semblance of standing. And as you're looking around, you look down at yourself and you can feel this warmth on your chest. Mm-hmm. And you see these bullet holes start to appear in your body. And you remember, what happened at your house didn't go exactly the way you have it in your mind. When you arrested that kid's brother and the gang got involved, they came to attack you and your family. You were literally walking out to your squad car to drive your kid to work when the gang jumped you. You pulled your gun, you shot one of them, but you don't remember much aside from that because they just opened up on you and blasted the shit out of you. And you died in a pool of your own blood in your driveway.
Well, I guess my first thought will be, why did I go to hell? And then the best I can do is sit down on the curb because, yeah, that's a hard reality to swallow.
And it just hits you all at once. Like, it's just that sudden flashes in your mind. And as you start thinking about it more and more, you start pulling more details out of it. And it was, one of the gang members that sent you threats is one of the ones that pulled the triggers. That's what you remember. You remember your kid getting shot. You're pretty sure he was dead before you passed out. He got shot at least once or twice. And then you remember trying to call for help when air wouldn't come to your lungs. And you just got colder and colder until you woke up here.
Yeah, I'll probably, just sit there on the curb for a minute and, I'll go, well, I guess it doesn't hurt to ask, like, what did I do to get sent to hell, God? Yeah. That's basically where it's going to be, for the moment, at least.
All right. Jesse, Helen opens the door, steps into the den. You see Dr. McNally. He's kind of like taking this whole thing in too. You can see, like I said, through those the back sliding doors there, you can see the blasted landscape outside the house.
I'm gonna ask the woman at the table because I can.
So, are the three of you guys? Well, I know that Dr. Parrish is there. Dr. McNally's going for the stairs.
I'm heading.
I have got to go. I've got someone I got to get to. I have to get up out of here.
Helen sees Thomas just rush by the dining room entrance into the hallway and starts going up the stairs as you make your way to the dining room.
It's not gonna work, Professor.
You hear the woman laugh. She's like, they always try. And as Finn steps in, has stepped into the front foyer again, you see Dr. McNally start just storming up these stairs like in desperation.
I'll actually sit down at the table as well. So
I'll go back out and sit on the curb.
You'll see Officer Faison's out there as well.
So I'll just look at him and be like,
you can see
high.
the bullet holes in his chest. And as Faison sees Owen show up, his eyes are a bit sunken in, looks a bit pale, like sickish.
I'll just look at Officer Faison and be like, I got high and drank a jerry can full of gasoline.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're dead.
I'll just nod like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's a son of a bitch realization.
Inside the house, as Dr. McNally is getting to the top of the stairs, you see this gentleman walk out of the bathroom in front of you, from out of the bathroom in front of you, very calmly. Both of his eyes are like completely pitch black, like obsidian black. His mouth is extended a bit unnaturally, not quite as large or as far back as the woman at the table, but more like a rictus grin. And he smiles like that same like filed teeth, shark tooth smile. He's wearing this white suit, pristine white suit. It's a little off-white, like eggshell, or a little bit darker than that, almost sepia. And there's a couple like stains of blood at the hem, at like the sleeves of his jacket and like the hem of the jacket itself. And he has this old like 1900s, early 1900s shotgun that's over one shoulder. And he just kind of smiles at you and says, "Where you think you're going?"
I gotta get back.
Oh, there's no getting back, son.
I see our template changed on Twitch.
Yeah, I'd say I saw that and
look at
started
that.
smiling.
Yep.
Did it?
It now says Wraith Oblivion.
Son of a bitch.
Did
I'd
not
say
know
is the
that. That's awesome.
only other person in this group who ran this before.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's what Dr. McNally
But I don't know
says.
yet. I still think I'm alive. I don't know anymore.
Why?
I can't
Because you're dead, son, and we reaped you.
How?
Easy. And you'll see him shrug the shotgun over his shoulder, kind of level it towards you. Now, why don't you take a step back down them stairs and go sit at the table like a good boy?
I'll walk backwards slowly down the stairs, one hand on the railing.
There you go.
Want to get shot in the back of the head or anything?
There you go. Now, just keep on going, and he'll just start slowly descending the stairs after you go down. He'll stop at the front door, look outside. obviously see that you guys can see, like, as that door's open, you can see Officer Faison and Finn are sitting on the curb outside. He looks over at the woman at the table. Is like, hey, Josie, we should go. This is useless at this point. We'll just fucking let him be. Josie just kind of shrugs. Like, we were supposed to get something out of this. Like, this didn't even work at all. Like, I'm just as hungry as I was before. He's like, yeah, I know. It was worth a shot. You know, who knows? Maybe we can. I mean, we could.
Someone please explain what the hell is going on here.
We could fuck him up and sell him to the Forges.
I'd say I will literally look at Dr. Parrish and go, we're dead.
What do you mean we're dead?
I'll hold up my hand where I hit the dog and point that there's no blood.
The woman will get up from the table and just push the seat back in. She looks at everybody. She's like, fuck it. It's not worth it. Like, all due respect, Tommy.
I'll look over to Finn. You know what's really weird about this? We're dead.
Besides all of it?
Yeah, but
Besides all of it.
if this is hell, why were we able to kill the dog?
I don't know if this is hell. It looks.
I'll look
more
around.
Like
Fucking looks like hell to me.
it seems more like purgatory, wouldn't it?
Hey, what's the difference? Some fucking sawtooth freak in there tried to eat us, and there's fucking tornadoes. This is hell, buddy.
Maybe.
Can we go back to the dead thing, ma'am?
I'm gonna get up and start walking back into the house.
Okay, you guys
I'll
want front
follow.
door or the hole in the garage?
Yeah, I mean, I'll walk to the front door.
The front
'cause
door.
Yeah, it's open. You'll step in and you'll see, like, this guy in the white suit with a shotgun. He'll just look over at you and then look over at the woman that's standing there, and she's just like, listen, who the hell cares? Like, let him go. He's like, why? They should all let's just tell them to the Forges. They seem to be arguing between themselves about what to do with you.
Okay, the two of you need to shut your mouths real quick and don't talk until I start asking questions. Everybody else, let's get behind me. Shit hasn't changed. This is a crisis situation, and you two have some fucking explaining to do.
We don't have to explain shit, just so you're aware.
Tap the hammer on my hand.
He'll just, like, lift
go.
the shotgun and just tap it into his palm.
Don't care. Already dead. Let's go. Come on.
Okay. He'll look at the rest of you
I'm
guys.
looking at the rest of them. Like,
Right, that you both look like,
let's
okay.
get the fuck out of here.
Oh,
Let's
you're-
go.
you're
I'm looking at
leaving.
everybody else. Yeah. Everybody else. Let's go. Let's find a fucking place that's safe.
What do you guys do?
Come on, Doc.
Already back behind him, so.
Right, you came in with him, so you're there.
I'm gonna
I'm-
actually grab the chair. I go.
Trying to move the doctors.
You go to grab the chair, and here's what's fucked. You grab it and pick it up. As you do that, it gets, like, semi-translucent. Do you go to swing it?
Nope. 'Cause I'm assuming it's like smoky and kind of almost not existent anymore when I'm holding it.
Essentially, it's a phantasm, yes.
Okay.
Gonna push my phantasm chair back in and
Kind of
move with the
explains
doc.
dead thing like she was talking about. All right, so I'm dead. Somehow I died. Fair enough. Well, guess we got to live with it. Well,
Well,
turn of phrase, as it were.
The guy in his suit's like, well, if you're leaving, fucking go. If you want to cause some shit, I'll happily shoot you.
No,
I'll
God,
just hold the hammer up like
No
we
reason
don't want
to-
to cause any more shit that's been caused.
Yeah.
We're just hip to your games, and now we're gonna go and find a safe
What
place,
What are you guys?
figure this out.
Out of curiosity, she was talking about eating us, or something like that.
Something like
If
that.
you don't mind me asking.
If you figure it out, you'll figure it out. If not, you'll be dead. So what does it matter?
Yeah, we're already dead. Bullet
No,
holes.
no, a little more than that. A little,
Stick
little.
When he says bullet holes, I'm gonna look at his chest.
You'll see him.
I'm gonna look at him.
I'd say I'm gonna look at it too.
I'll hold out the little screwdriver and I'll just be like, listen, hills have eyes. No more words. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's go.
Come on, docs.
Yeah. So basically, at this point, I'm gonna try to lead them out of the house. And
You guys can retreat.
Yeah, I'm just
Yep.
gonna slowly walk out. Oh,
Once the
We'll
two
look at-
doctors are out, I'll leave myself.
I'm gonna look at the lady before we walk out. Josie, I think her name was. Oh, ma'am, it was a pleasure speaking with you.
She just smiles that weird fucking incredibly huge grin again. She just does one of these with her fingertips.
Sure.
I will trudge.
Fantastic day.
yeah.
You will trudge.
We
trudge.
You trudge.
I'm just gonna like try to lead these people to someplace that's different. That's,
Right.
I have no.
Well, who's the last person out of the house? Is my question really. Helen? All right. So as Helen gets past the threshold of the door, you look back and you see the woman put her hand on the shoulder of the guy in a suit, he'll kind of throw his head back and focus, and you'll hear this like howling hole open up beneath them as they drop through it, and it closes.
Jesus.
I don't think he's
Well.
anywhere near us.
No, nah. But I think, what was your name, kid?
I just heard a cat meow.
Yeah, no.
What's your name, kid? Meow. Okay, that works. That
Should
works.
have called him
I'm sorry,
pussy.
she's on my leg.
I think Owen might be right here. It doesn't make sense that these are demons because we were able to kill that dog, so we must be in purgatory. So if we're in purgatory, that means we haven't gone to hell yet.
Or that there is no hell.
Could be.
It's a spiritual realm. And that's about as much ground as I'll give.
Once you're
This
fully
should make sense.
outside into the Shadowlands proper, Helen remembers you did slide and fall on the platform, but you were right when you were playing around earlier. You fell onto the tracks and got killed
Kind of
by the
figured
train.
I got hit by a train.
For Dr. McNally, the weird part is your memories are all out of flux. You have a daughter. You remember that 100% correctly, but she's in her 20s. You didn't just get your doctorate. You were in your 80s when you passed. This was your pinnacle work. When you come into the Shadowlands, you assume your most idealized sense of self. So for you, it's when you were young and virile and doing your research, you're at your peak. You died of pneumonia in your office. Your lungs gave out. You felt them burning. You just had to finish this manuscript. You knew you had to get it done before you passed to cement your legacy as a researcher. And you died in your office one night. You were up way, way later than you should have been, beyond your endurance, and you just couldn't breathe anymore, and you died. For Dr. Parrish, you don't remember. Like, you literally went to sleep in the fucking lounge in the hospital and died. You don't know how.
Great.
Boy, that's
One too many 8-balls pulling a double shift.
It was that doctor who wanted my promotion. I know he wanted my job.
I do have to say, I didn't know it was a Wraith game until the end when he pretty much told us. I thought we were awakening mages. Like the door bursting out was forces or something.
That could have been.
I had no idea we were dead.
Yeah.
It didn't even cross my mind.
I recognize Stone Hand Punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did want to ask, or because I don't know if I remember if you said it. So why was my guy back? Why?
You didn't. Your confusion. You don't know why you died.
I don't know. I shouldn't be dead.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck happened? Like, what went down? Like, you don't know who. Somebody clearly killed you. You don't know who or why. That's the thing. And that like need to know why you're dying is what kept you here. So, what do you guys think? First time running a Wraith game. First time for some people here, I think, playing in it. So
First time playing
first time
one.
ever playing it.
Yep.
Yeah, I
This is my
didn't.
first time playing it, but definitely fun. Good start to the mystery.
Yeah, I
Every
wasn't.
expectation I had for a Wraith game out of the water.
I wasn't. I had no fucking clue what was happening until very close to the end. I was like, no, I feel like we're people. We've been caught by the worm. There's like a black spiral dancer upstairs. I don't know what the fuck. Like I thought that dog was like a fucking worm creature. I didn't know what the hell it was. I truly, I was like, I don't know. And then like when Jeff got out and you were like, oh, it's like a blasted landscape. I was like, we're fucking dead. Yeah.
Yep.
That's where I was like, yep, we died.
So the reason that you guys were seeing people is like you're right on the edge of the Skinlands. Like you're up here, you're in the Skinlands, but the moment you stepped outside the house, you left the Echo and you're in the Shadowlands. And then it was just Pandemonium there, not Pandemonium. It was Pandemonium they're using to create some of the creepy stuff, and then Phantasm to create these solid illusions. Because you actually can do that, which I thought was surprising. I had to ask Rick. I'm like, Rick, is there any way I can make this house look like it should look? He's like, yeah, the Sandman Arcanoi. Just use that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, cool. Looked into it. Boom, that worked.
Kind of glad you didn't ask me because that would have given away the game.
Right, and I was trying not to reveal that I was using Wraith 20. I mentioned I was reading it and saw some stuff on it earlier, but I didn't want to get too far into it. That's why I was like, oh, I'm reading the werewolf book.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was worm stuff. You put the thought in my head, and I was like, "What is that? Could that be?" Well, it's not. It's not like a skull pig. Could it be something else?
Could it be a Balehound? I don't fucking know,
maybe
man.
I'd say
it's
the
gotta be a
second
worm
you
creature.
started doing the haunted house shit, I'm like, this is a Wraith game. I
Yeah.
know exactly what this is.
So
Yeah, my mind went through vampire. It didn't go through werewolf because you had mentioned W20, so I'm like, that's a mislead. And then I'm like, well, could totally be some
We know your
Giovanni
misleads,
bullshit.
Ray.
Right.
Could be a Giovanni bullshit. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I saw
definitely
somebody made a comment about me
You know,
being
that's
Giovanni.
a fucking hellhound up in that room. And then it's like teleport. I'm like, well, I don't understand mage very well, and I could totally see Ray fucking our
and
minds with mage.
He had the
Wraith
woman
was
doing
the
the flicker
last
flash.
thing on my mind, and not until I started to suspect. But once Jeff got out, well, actually, once I started to cross and started to turn invisible, you know, and started to disappear, that's when I'm like, oh fuck. And then when Jeff bolted out, that's when it was confirmed.
Yeah. So you guys sent Vigo, the dog, into a destruction harrowing. So fucking kudos on you. But he was using Argos, and if you roll far enough to pass the I guess the territory in one turn normally, anyways, you just teleport. So that's like boop boop teleporting around. He was just moliated to hell and back, fucking to hell and back. That's
Literally.
all it was. Yep, he was just crazy moliate use. Everybody had a bunch of moliate use on them. They're trying to make themselves look scary because the whole idea was you got a renegade circle of Wraiths here who are trying to see, can we get pathos from other Wraiths? Let's try it. Let's get some ones that just came over, reap them, and try to terrify them, and see if that works. It didn't.
I'd say you kind of officially gave the game away for me, like other than seeing the pandemonium stuff, because I'm like, okay, this could just be, we might just be in a haunted house. And then watching the woman flicker flash, I'm like, either she's showing herself or I'm already dead. And then Jeff mentioned shitting himself in the car. And you went, well, you would if you could.
Yeah, you.
And I went,
Yeah.
which is why I asked when my hand hit, I'm like, is there blood?
Right. Yeah.
That's also why. That's why I also asked when I first. That's why I tried to engage with that dog the first time. No one tried to actually touch him. Is it an illusion? Is he real?
Yeah, and I was a little concerned. Like, I'm gonna have it play dead and try to get the fuck away, because once they get so hurt, you start to get incorporeal essentially, and you get like misty and like see through and translucent. I'm like, fuck, that's gonna be like a weird giveaway to some people who might know what that is. But it went well. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys.
Yeah.
As the only other person in this group, I'm pretty sure, who ran Wraith, I'm fucking proud as hell you did that.
I had
That
a
was awesome.
good
Yeah.
time. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a good way
Yeah,
to show
yeah,
that
for-
Wraith is not the depressing system everybody thinks it is.
Oh well, your deaths are fucking
At
depressing as
the
hell.
end,
Oh no!
at the end,
Absolutely.
I was like, "Fuck!" That became depressing.
But at the same time,
Right.
now you
Mine's not
see it can
depressing at all.
be repentance, and then on top of it, Bobby's got a mystery.
Yep.
You know, Wraith can be a lot of different things, and
I got goals, man.
Yeah.
I got goals. I got shit I got to do.
Those are your
I got
passions.
motherfuckers. I got a
And
torment.
I got to figure
That's-
out how to get it done.
If I'll ask anybody else willing to play this again.
fuck yes.
Sure, I'd
Yeah.
play it again.
1000%.
This is the first Wraith game I've gotten a chance to play. I have run them. I have never played in one.
Yeah, I was nervous as fuck the whole time. By the way, like I'm like,
I was legit writing a Wraith
I
game. So I was like,
applaud you.
I can write Wraith, I can write Werewolf. I don't know which one they'd want to play. And you just ran Wraith. So I'm like, yep, got it. I'm doing Werewolf.
what's up?
I have to go.
I'm off the hook.
All right,
My back teeth are floating. I had a great time. It was a great game.
all right. Thanks, Nate. We'll see you.
Later, Dave.
You're welcome.
Bye,
No
Nate.
problem. I don't know how long you guys are going to stay on, so I'll just leave my video and close my
Okay.
flap. So
All right. Don't forget to mute yourself as well, just in
He
case.
already did.
All
That
right.
was step one.
So, chat, did you guys like it? What did you think? And that's a wrap on our Wraith game. It was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed it. I had fun running it. A little nerve-wracking because it was the first time I've run Wraith, but it went pretty well, I think. Again, you know, if you've played Wraith or run Wraith a lot in the past, you may notice some inconsistencies with the way that we applied some of the rules, and not only of the powers and stuff, but of the Shadowlands itself and of the Skinlands. Pretty much, I kind of flubbed a bit of it to make it more for the story and kind of draw things out a bit more for the players to slowly tease out what's actually going on with the situation they're in. So it's not 100% faithful to mechanics and source, so I hope you guys can forgive me that, but it was a good time. We're probably going to run it again. We'll see. People seem really enthused about it, and we had a lot of people in chat who really liked watching us do Wraith, so we may revisit that in the future. Stay tuned. We'll let you know. Until then, as always, have fun.